Hi. Today I want to talk about something that happened to me and may happen to you. I've been doing a lot of work outside. It's summertime, and one of the things I've been doing is using, handheld power tools to clear brush, do various things. And so I've been using a lot of batteries. And in this particular case, I wanted a larger battery for my weed whacker. It's one of those things that, you use it for half an hour, the battery's gone. You gotta charge it again. So I wanted a bigger one. And so I went on eBay, like we all do, because we want to save money. The battery that I use, it costs about, well, it depends on where you get it and what brand you get. But for the Black & Decker, which is what this is, 1.5 amp hour, you can pay $50 for this. So when I found someone selling these Chinese knockoffs with a 6.5 amp hour battery for $40 for two, I thought, score, right? No. Turns out to be fraud. Now, I'm going to show you how I determined that, because that's a nasty word to use. I'm not saying that the person who sold it to me knew that this was the issue. They did give me a refund, at least half, and let me keep these so I can still use them. But nonetheless, there's no way that it's a 6.5 amp hour battery, and I'll show you why I say that. Now I got two of them, so I took one apart, and what we see is that there actually is an area for two sets of batteries, but there's only one set in place. And these, if we add them all up, turn out to be the 20 volt. It's actually 18, but they're calling 18 volt batteries 20 volts now, just like 13.6 amp or volt batteries, we call them 12 volt, right? So this actually adds up to 18 volts and 2 amp hours if you go by the label on the battery. So, okay, theoretically, according to the label on each of these cells, it should be a 2 amp hour battery. That's a far cry from 6.5. Even if we doubled them up, like this case allows, but isn't there, it would still just be 4 amp hours. Now I do have a 4 amp hour battery that I got from someone else, and it lasts longer than the 1.5 amp hour battery. But nonetheless, the way I really discovered this right away, or verified it, I should say, right away, was by weighing him. Now, in order to be a 6.5 amp hour battery in this form factor, which it obviously is, it would need to have at least 3 sets of these batteries. And they would have to be rated higher than 2 amp hours. And there are batteries that are. You can get 2.8 amp hour batteries in this form factor. These happen to be 2 amp hours, and these would have been the 1.5 amp. So what I did was I weighed them, because I knew it had to have at least 2 sets of batteries. And when I weighed my original 1.5 amp hour battery, it weighed in at 363 grams. I almost said ounces. Grams. Then I weighed this one, and it came in at 383. Now, just the added plastic on this explains the extra 20 grams. But realistically, to get to 6.5 amps with anywhere near this capacity battery, it would have had to have been well over a kilogram or 1,000 grams. And in point of fact, the 4 amp hour battery that I have just by itself, which has both of these rows filled, comes in over a kilogram. So obviously this is not what it was sold as. So beware and do a quick check. Just weigh these before you actually use them. You might be able to get a complete refund. Ship it back, say, guys, hopefully if enough people actually do this, these people will stop trying to sell something that isn't real. Thanks.